Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. As you can see, today we're reviewing the Cuphead show that just came out today. This series is definitely spoiler warning for the series, by the way. And, well, let's get right into the review. First thing we're going to do is the characters. As you can see, Cuphead and Mugman are really great characters. They're definitely funny. Definitely gave me a lot of chuckles during the entire show, first season, really. I thought it was just going to be like a one season kind of deal. Kind of like, like a few of the newer shows coming out. I thought it was just going to be one season and that's it. But no, they have, the first season actually, spoiler warning, ends on a cliffhanger. Because in the last episode, Cuphead and Mugman get thrown in the jail due to Chalice. And the first season, I thought I was expecting some fighting, with the finger guns and everything, but none of that really happened. It more or less felt like a comedy than what I was expecting, but it was still very funny, and I really didn't hate it. I was expecting something, but I didn't get that. But the show was funny overall. Chalice is introduced in the last episode, even though it may seem like she was introduced way early on. Nope, last episode. You get to see a lot of the characters throughout the show, like Pig Port Rind, I believe that's his name. Elder Kettle. The Devil is definitely a character. King Dice, a very prominent character in the game, wasn't very prominent in there. He gets like one episode in this season, and then after that, he is gone. And I feel like they did change the characters up a little bit from the video game, but the show was great. It definitely gave me that old-timey feeling like show, and what I loved they did sometimes is sometimes the background had this claymation look to it. And with the way the animation is done and the claymation kind of stylized to it, it generally mixes in very well, which gives it that stylized look, which I really, really like. Another thing that I really liked about the show was the pacing. The show was a fast-paced cartoon with great animation, with funny hijinks that ensued a lot. Comedy is definitely a hit or miss, and I believe this show really hit its parts. It felt like a show that you would watch as a little kid and go, "Oh golly, this show makes me slap my knee." And a few things like, I like that there's a little bit of teasing for the show. There's an invisible sweater, which has 2 episodes to it, kinda. First, Mugman has to knit the invisible sweater. How do you knit an invisible sweater? That's kind of funny. And I like how Mugman's the most common sense person in the show, He's just like, "Mugman, Cuphead, don't do that. That's a bad idea." And instead of Cuphead gambling his soul away, he just loses it because Mugman accidentally bumped into him. Yeah, I don't know why they didn't have gambling in the show. It could have been an adult cartoon, and they could have had gambling, cussing, all of that, and it would have been just fine, This show, the game really wasn't meant for kids. I mean, have you ever seen a 5-year-old play Cuphead? No. You've never seen that before because it's nearly impossible. The game is incredibly hard, and I feel like the show's definitely going to demonstrate that in the next season. I don't know when the next season's coming out, by the way, but it's probably going to come out maybe next year or a few years. So, I don't know. Netflix is kind of iffy with their shows, like with Q-Force and everything. Their original series, they really, really have a little hard time dealing with. But I am really excited to see the next season. A few things that I didn't like about the show is that the episodes were quite short, I believe. The season, I believe, barely gets over an hour. Each episodes are around 14 minutes long, so it was quite an easy watch, and I could watch it all while I'm doing one sitting. Which isn't bad, I just wish the episodes were a lot longer. because I genuinely wanted to see more of the show and of the characters. The comedy hit great. The pacing was great, especially for a 14-minute show. It was a little bit fast at times, but I think that is just because of the time. I don't know why they made it 14 minutes long for each, like 15 minutes long for each episode. Like 15 minutes each episode. That's like actually that makes sense because that's how originally probably how long cartoons like that were back in the day. So if that is supposed to be like that, then that is truly funny. But I really don't know what else to say about the show. Like, some of my favorite characters, like King Dice was in it, but only for like one episode, and I feel like it could have been done a little bit better, and I believe Cuphead was a little bit too dumb in some of the parts, you know? To make the joke, it's just like, oh, haha, he doesn't know what Twinkle Twinkle Little Star is, but that's a little bit too dumb, you know? And sometimes he's not dumb, and it's like, that's a little bit weird, you know? Like, the way they do the show and the animation, like, the animation definitely also brings the characters to life. Because I feel like this kind of style of animation isn't really done that much. Because of budgets, because Flash cartoons are nowadays, it runs everything. I'm not saying Flash animation's bad, I'm just saying that it's definitely different. I believe that, the show is amazing. I'm definitely saying it's a watch. It's a definite watch. I would recommend watching it with someone else. You know, you can have a great laugh together, make jokes about it, you know. But, like, yeah, I would definitely watch it if you're a big fan of Cuphead, you know. Just be prepared to not see all the characters that you want, like the mermaid character. I believe there was a train conductor that didn't really appear in the Ghost episode. Because, like, the episodes were all over the place. I felt like it was supposed to come out, like, seasonally, and for some reason, I'm like, oh, yeah, this feels like Halloween, this feels like that, and it really didn't feel like there was a passage of time sometimes. Because it's just like, oh, man, it feels like a Halloween movie episode, because zombies and ghosts and all of the hijinks ensues. But it wasn't. It was just a random episode. So, yeah, that's just there. And there's also the part where, you know, like, I felt like a lot of the characters didn't have enough time to shine. You know, like, Cuphead and Mugman definitely got most of the spotlight. But there's also King Dice, the Devil, you know, Elder Kettle, he kind of got his own episode, because at the, like, second to last episode, he thought that Cuphead and Mugman were trying to kill him off, but they were talking about an earthworm. I mean, I guess that makes sense. There was also, Pork Rinds, I believe. If I'm saying that name wrong, I am so sorry. He is definitely, like, one of the secondary characters, you know? Like, and he isn't that big of a character in the first place. But yeah, he's definitely along there. I really, really wish I could have seen King Dice more, because he's like, it's like, oh, you failed me, and you know how much I hate failure, and then that's it, you ever see him. I don't think he's dead. Like, this mouse from Sing 2, he's definitely not dead like he is. I'm just curious of what's going on. Like, hey, where's King Dice? He's a great icon, you know? And it's like, and why is it a carnival? Wasn't it a gambling area in the game? Like, it's spelled Carnival, and I thought, oh, haha, very funny. And I thought maybe, like, the carnival, like, I can't remember, carnies would be bad guys, like they did in Hell of a Boss, you know? They're obviously jerks, but that's hell. I'm also planning to do an episode review when that new episode comes out. I'm planning to do, like, a full season 1 review on each episode, so be prepared to see that. Along with a review for Sing 2 when the DVD comes out, so I can take notes about that movie. And I'm hoping you guys like this episode. Overall, I would give it an 8 out of 10, you know. Definitely bump up the character time and a little bit longer episodes, a little bit more action in there. That's good. The animation gives it a point from being a 7, I guess. Or, like, the animation's a 10 out of 10. The voice acting, 10 out of 10. Feels a little bit weird sometimes, but that's because they're talking in weird slang. Because it's just like, oh, golly gee, I can't believe it. Today's my lucky day. I found a nickel. This nickel can get me anything. Because back in the day, a nickel was worth $100. Get it? Comedy. But yeah, I really enjoyed the show. I'm really excited to see season 2. And I hope you guys like this video, and I hope you like, comment, and subscribe.